No. All right, everyone, and welcome to episode 42 of the 10-Minute Modeling Challenge. So my name is Stefan Persson, also known as Imphenzia. Last week we started a little mini-series within this 10-Minute Modeling Challenge, and I'm going to be modeling some game assets, and then in the bonus material I'm going to be implementing those into a little Unity game. Last week we did some tiles and some trees and a crate and a coin. And this week around I'm going to model the hero, and we have to rig him, animate him with some basic animations and poses, and then we'll bring him into Unity as well. And maybe I'll model some separate props, for example, a hat and a backpack. I think I'll try. Last week, I don't know if you caught it, but the Twitter blew up. This weekend that just went by as well, we had Ludum there 47, and I didn't think I was going to participate for too many hours, but I ended up pouring in the whole weekend basically. And I ended up creating a little game called Looper Cooper, and the theme was Stuck in a Loop. And I created a little game where you basically have to fly this airplane around in a loop, so the level is a loop. And you have to do small loops inside that big loop. So I tried to really stick with the theme, and I streamed the whole thing on Twitch, or most of it anyway. And I'm going to be putting together a post-mortem about this and talk about everything that I did, what I learned, what I did wrong, what I could have done better. And yeah, you name it, I'll try to put that in the video. So if you're wondering what the game is, it's a physically accurate flight sim designed to compete with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. So I've got the day and night cycle with the buildings light up in the dark. So as it goes night, the windows come on. Very advanced. The physics model, the aerodynamics of the plane is totally accurate. So you might experience some flight control lag, and it's because I'm trying to model the molecules going under the wings. Or maybe it's just that the torque is a little bit slow. If you try the game, you'll figure out, and you'll probably put some comments that, well, the game looks pretty decent, but the controls are horrible. But just give it some practice and you'll get the hang of it. And my personal best so far is about 14,500, so you should try to go to the game, play it, and try to beat my score. Check the description of this video and you can play and rate it there. You can even play it in a browser, but I recommend that you download the Windows version for some better performance. It's also got a really good damage model, so not only does it fly accurately, the damage model is spot on. I watched 25 episodes of Air Crash Investigation, and I checked on everything how it worked, and I've tried to replicate that in this game. And advanced crash test dummy as well. Some people would call it like a ragdoll effect. I'd say that it's more like a simulation of a crash test. There's a lot of physics going on there as well. A bit too advanced to bring up here. It's got a lot of fun to play around, and I'd say that it's a lot more fun to crash the plane than it is to play the game. So that's it. As I was streaming the whole event on Twitch, Brainshack was also streaming his event. So he created the Untitled shooter game, and it looked really neat, so I wanted to show it on this stream as well. It basically reminds me like of a neon-styled Quake game, and you'll see, or like more like a Tron look. So check this out. It's got really nice emission and bloom effects, and you can run around and shoot these items. And I thought this was one of the nicer looking entries. So he did a really good job with the modeling, I think, the low poly style, the way I like it, and I also like the coloring and the texturing and the bloom a lot. So I haven't played this too much because I've got one problem with the game, and that is, well, I've got two problems, unfortunately. One is that it doesn't implement invert mouse, and I'm old school, and I played a lot of Unreal Tournament and stuff back in the day for some reason, or Quake for that matter. I like to lean forward to push the mouse forward to look down, and then pull back like an airplane and look up. And I played like Wolfenstein 3D back in the day as well, and that had the very similar feel when you like glide through corridors like this. And it just sends my brain totally offsets, so I feel super sick quite fast. And unfortunately, games like Roblox and Minecraft do the same for me. Nice job, Brainshack. I like it. And check out the description as well. I'll link to this game that you can download it, and also to his Twitch stream. You should check out his Twitch stream. All right, and what else? This arrived. I mentioned this last time, and my YouTube Creators Award has arrived. I still haven't opened it, so I'm really excited. And it's got a green sticker here, so it might be messing up the green screen a bit. Well, I'm super excited about opening this. I'll be recording that at 1:42 a.m. I should have done this a long time ago. But I've been working super hard on the RTS game. So much fun. Check out the Discord as well. We're actually inviting some more testers. So if you want to become a tester of the RTS game that I'm developing along with a friend of mine, we've been working on it for 16 months now. So if you want to become an alpha tester, check out the Discord description and go to the announcement and sign up there. There's a Google form where you can sign up to become a tester. Ready? Steady? Go! We're off. Yes, it's counting. Tab into edit mode as usual. A to select everything. Scale it down. Oh, proportional off. Let's move it up to here. I'm going to do the traditional style that I always do, pretty much. So you've seen this before, but let's put them in the game this time. Edit, auto mirror, scale it down a bit more, down to here. A scale Y, that's Y. I always crack that lame joke. There we go. Gonna do very similar style to what I've done before. So it's gonna be the hero here. E to extrude, S to scale, R to rotate. E to extrude. Here's the knee. So I'm gonna put some geometry there. Here's gonna be a Bigfoot, not Bigfoot, but a Bigfoot. A scale Y, and then make big feet here. E to extrude, E to extrude. Bring that down. I think I'm gonna actually make the feet even wider. Like this. Because I want to see them, when he runs, I want to have big feet running around. So it really animates well. Okay, and arm, E to extrude, S to scale. I'm gonna do a super primitive low poly object as usually. Even every time I do these, they turn out to be more low and low poly. If that is even possible. And for the hands, I'm not even gonna do thumbs now. I'm gonna do like these clenched fists instead. Let's bring this out, and then bring this out as well a bit. Whoop. How am I doing? 832. So again, super primitive. Let's put a belt on. I usually put something like that. Scale Z. Okay, that doesn't work because I probably don't have medium point. Let's change it. Scale. There we go. Alt-E. Alt-E. Ah, okay. Alt-E, extrude along normals. That's it. Control, let's move this out as well. Give him a bit of a pot belly there. Okay, head. Again, super boxy. Scale. E to extrude. E to extrude. S to scale. E to extrude. S to scale. E to extrude. So I'm gonna... So the head now is gonna be very big, actually. Very, very big. Because I want to have it the same size as the body. So it's gonna look super weird, probably. As usual. But that's okay. When it's a platformer, it'll look better. So I'm gonna keep it a little bit square looking as well. That's it. And let's colorize him. We're gonna have, I think I'll do UV project, since I've got the gradient here. Project from view, scale it down. Just start with a slight tint shade like this. And then here, let's do Control plus. Here, maybe a red top. Should we do? Yep. Black belt as usual. Pants can be a bit brown colored. Here. Oh, A scale 0. Actually, let's do them a bit shaded as well, since we're at it. Scale. There we go. And black shoes. G. There we go. And hands are there. Let's put some white socks on as well. Again, just to make the animations a bit more visible to see what's happening. Some contrast here. Eyes will do. I to inset. Scale Z. Very simple eyes I'm going to do. Like this, just... Okay, I don't actually want to do that at all. I want to do this. This. And... Now I to inset scale, or I want to, don't destroy the geometry, as I'll do GG to just move these. I could have done that better, but never mind. And then I'm going to make a cap now, so I'm going to put there, Control plus, and this one we're going to detach later on, so Shift D to duplicate that, S to scale it up a bit. Let's make the cap red as well. Here we need to Alt Shift select that one, F to cap it. And then A scale 0 to make sure that that's red too. Okay. Seems to be somewhere else actually. So let's do reset the UVs. A scale 0. Red. And then I to inset. B to get the boundary. It's a bit tricky to see there, but I want to have that. E to extrude that up there. Let's do Control R. E to extrude this one. Let's make a cap here. Bring that on in. Okay, how am I doing? 512. So scale 0. G down to there. Can make it a bit bent as well, maybe. He's not bent, but the cap is. There you go. Okay, and let's put a backpack on as well. Maybe we should make a back that's not so flat. Select a few of these, maybe to there. Move that out. And here's a very simple backpack. A lot of simple stuff. Scale. G, make a gray backpack maybe. E to extrude that on. Let's put actually what I'm gonna do here is I to inset this one. E to extrude it. Let's put control move to there. He can have one of those that you sleep on, whatever they're called. Sleep underlays. Circle. Scale it. E to extrude that on. Control plus. Can be green. It's a camper. Not a game camper. Like where you lay with a sniping rifle, but I to inset. E to extrude. Okay. So that's his backpack. It's a bit small, isn't it? L. Scale it. We can make it bigger. So 3 minutes and 50. Okay. We put some here. Some knees on. Okay, let's 3 minutes and 20. I'm actually happy with him. I don't want to do anything else now. So let's rig him then. 3 minutes. That'll be a challenge. Shift A. Armature. Go here. I wasn't actually planning on rigging him. I was just going to model the... So either I finished very early or I'm failing now because I'm not going to be able to finish the rig. E to extrude. Right click. E to extrude. Let's go to the head. Let's do shoulders. E to extrude. E to extrude for the arm. E to extrude. And E to extrude for the hand. E to extrude for the leg. Oop. G to move it right. Oh, G to root. And then middle mouse button to snap it on the axis. That works as well. G. 2 minutes 40. E to extrude. Move it down. E to extrude. Move it down. And then here, let's bring that one forward. A little bend on the knee, remember? That's important. And then we name these F2 root. F2 spine 1. F2 spine 2. F2 head. F2 shoulder dot L. F2 upper arm dot L. F2 lower arm dot L. F2 hand dot L. Upper leg dot L. Lower leg dot L. Foot dot L. And let's do the inverse kinematic here as well. E to extrude. E to extrude. Alt P. Clear parent. G to move it here. We need to disable deform. Alt P. Clear parent. Did I do it? Alt P. Clear parent. Deform. Off. And then we'll do F2 IK leg pole dot L. F2 IK leg target dot L. And then here, let's go here and do Control Tab into pose mode. 1 minute and 8 seconds to go. So here we'll do inverse kinematics. Am I in the wrong one? Yeah, I was. So inverse kinematics. We'll do chain length 2, armature, target, armature, pole. There we go. And then we need 90 on the pole angle. Okay, and we've got something wrong here. So Control Tab, A, select every... Oh no. Select this one, Tab into edit mode, A, Shift N, align with view axis. Control Tab back into post mode. Everything's all right. 24 seconds to go. So for this bone, if we move this one, that's okay. We need to A, select everything, or Control Tab, F3, symmetry. Let's see. F3 sim A, F3 symmetrize. And time's up. So I either failed miserably or actually succeeded really well, because I was finished with what I was meant to be doing 3 minutes ahead of schedule, or what I thought I was going to do. I was going to spend 10 minutes on this character. So I guess I created the armature within the 10 minutes, but I didn't fully rig him because I haven't parented him yet. So maybe this was my first fail, episode 42, like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's the answer to everything. I finally failed. Or I succeeded really well. So I'll let you decide in the comments. I have no idea. But it doesn't stop us. We're going to continue with this anyway. So it's actually very good that I stopped right here and that I didn't get any further, because now I want to say something really important. We're going to be bringing this guy into Unity, as I said before. And for that to work, they've improved a lot in Unity 2020 with the way you can import stuff, because Blender, as you know, has got the up and down axis is the Z axis, or Z. And in Unity, the up and down axis is the Y axis. And it's always been a pain to try to export objects from Blender and get them in the right rotation in Unity. Usually they look all right when you import them, but the transforms are actually rotated by 90 degrees around the x-axis. And it's quite problematic if you want to have it parent other objects, and it just doesn't look right. So for static objects, you could always apply this apply experimental transform that they've now renamed to apply transform, but it doesn't work for armatures. So the fix for it, let's start with that one right now. So before I export this guy now, see that he's facing in the negative Y direction. As you can see, the Blender direction here is on the Y axis, it goes this way positively, and it goes this way negatively. And when you press 1 on the keypad to get to the front view, does that mean you're facing front? Or does it mean that you're looking at something from the front? I don't even know. And I couldn't find a Google result. So if you know what that means, let me know. But the point is, we need to bring this into Unity. And for this new system to work, I have to rotate this by 180 degrees. So I'm going to be having him facing forward in the green Y direction here. So to do that, I'll select the guy. First, we can rename him to Hero, F2. And then I'll just do R to rotate, Z 180. So now we've flipped him, and we'll do the same for this. Rotate Z 180. And here's another important thing. If I press N now, well, no, but if I go to items here, you can see that it's got 180 degree rotation here on both of these objects. So I have to press Control A and apply the rotation so it goes back to 0. Very important. Control A, apply rotation. Another thing that I wanted to do for the legs here is I do Control Tab, and we have to fix just these. When I left these legs now, you can see that the foot points down, and that's not so nice to animate with that. So in order to fix that, we'll select this bone here, and I'll go to the Bone tab here and go Relations. And I'll do Inherit Rotation. We can do that for this one. We'll switch those off for the feet. And then we have to copy the rotation of this bone here. So I'll go to this one and do Add Object Constraint, Copy Rotation. And then we have to pick the armature, and then pick the armor. Okay, pick the arm. Oh, I've been using the wrong constraint. I've been using this one. So here we go. Add bone, copy rotation. Easy as that. So target. Oh. Target. Hell. All right, that's okay. We go to local space, rotate. It's funny, I've been doing this about a billion times and I still get it wrong. So this rotation is wrong. So we need to mirror that on or invert it. So we just mirror the Z direction, rotate Z, rotate. That's okay. But this one's wrong too. So the Y direction we have to rotate or invert. So here we go. That's it. And then same for this one. We'll do, what I could do is just make it easy for me. Control Tab. You just delete the right side. Tab into edit mode. B to box select. Shift select this one. Delete bones. We'll just do A to select all of them. F3. Symmetrize again. That's it. Control Tab. Pose mode. And everything is up and running. One thing I want to do as well is I'm going to detach now the, let's see that the arms are working as well. R. Okay, tab into post mode, or that's okay. That's going to be sufficient for our little character. It's fine. Head, it's good. It doesn't matter that the hat isn't following because we're going to detach that one now. So let's do that now. Control tab. We'll select this one. Tab into edit mode. L to select the hat. The linked vertices here. P. Selection. Select this one. Tab. L. P. And do selection there as well. One thing we need to do now is Alt P and clear the parent because we don't want to have it linked to the armature anymore. So F2 on this one, call it hero backpack. And here we'll do Alt P, clear parent. So it moves it from this hierarchy down to here. F2 on that one, hero hat. Now you'll find that Control tab, now these stay in the air. So we can, if we want to animate with these on, which we probably do, then we can select this hat now and go to this one. This time it'll be this one. Add constraint, child of. And then we pick here armature and then pick the head. And it moves all the way over here now, but we can fix that by doing set inverse and then it moves it back to the original location there. Same thing for this one. We'll add a constraint, child of. And this one, we're going to do it to spine 2, I think. So let's do pick armature, pick spine 2, and then set inverse. And now that this one should also follow here, like this. And this is the good thing. In Unity now, we can actually have this backpack parented in the hierarchy, so it's going to work really nicely there. So we need to do a few animations now to bring him in. So let's go to the animation tab, select the armature, and then go from dope cheek to action editor here. Click on new, and then we'll do T-pose first. T-pose, T-pose. This little shield icon to protect it from being accidentally deleted, hopefully. And here I select all of them, and then we can just hover over it and press I and insert location and rotation keyframes here. Now we've saved the T-pose here. So we create a new animation on this little multiple page thing. Let's call this one walk. Well, we'll do a run animation. I'm not gonna do a walk animation for this one. I always do walk animations, but for this platformer, he's gonna be running. So I go to the side view, and then we have to do automatic keyframing. And usually what I do now is I bring up, I just Google like a running sheet, like you can see here, run cycle. And then we find one that we like. I usually want to have just 4 keyframes. So I usually search for one that has 4 keyframes so I can blend it with a walk cycle, which are also. So I'm going to go for this one. So this one I'm going to keep on the side of my screen here so I can see it. And I just replicate this. Control tab into edit mode. I'm on frame 1 here. Shift space G to get this little thing. Move it down. Move this leg forward. Rotate it. I'm just copying the poses now that were on that screenshot that I showed you. Actually, I'm going to bring him up because now we're doing a run pose this time. So I'm going to make a little happy run here. Do the arms afterwards. So just start with these. Skip 2 frames. Go to frame number 4. And then here he's going to come down and plant this foot. This one is going to start to come forward. Actually, I have to go back to this one because it needs to go back a little bit further. So I'm just looking at the reference at the same time here. Skip 2 frames, go to frame 7. And here, come down even further. And we're going to have the passing. It's equivalent to the passing phase here, or passing pose of the walk cycle. And then the last pose here, the high pose. And then flip the foot. It doesn't matter that it doesn't roll off the ground. It's going to be so fast we can't see this anyway. Okay, could have been better folding here on the legs. That's quite terrible. But very bad. But it's okay for our purpose. Don't do the knees like I just did them. So let's grab this and see. Okay, it's going to look a bit too stale, I think. So we need to exaggerate this. So this pose, let's send them up. Pick the feet as well, send them up to here. And we need to move this pole bone as well. And then here, land. And then on this frame, let's send them down a lot further even. We can go back to here, send them up a bit. So he's just landing here. And then here, a little bit higher again. That's it. And then we'll do the arms. So I'll go to the front view. Rotate down. Control C, Control Shift V to flip it to there. Right leg forward, left leg back, left arm back. Gonna be forward and up. Okay, and that's it. We'll do A to select all of it. Control C down here on the dope sheet. Go to frame 13. Control Shift V to flip the mirrored. And the arms are not following. It's because we need to do this one as well. Shift D to duplicate these to frame 25. And then we'll loop it on 24. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. I'll press S to scale these down and just make sure they scale so there's only one frame in between each here instead. Need to move them down. And let's see, we'll loop it on number 16 instead. That's a bit of a faster run cycle. And then we have to put some motion into his body as well. Expand the rotation on this one. Get rid of all the rotations. Delete. So we can rotate this one forward. Back. Oh, I have to do it on this frame. Rotate. Up with the spine a bit, like this. Okay, I don't like this run cycle, so we need to improve it. See, what can we do to fix it? We can exaggerate it. So leg comes up to here and up to here. Then we need to just move, I think, so the knees point in the right way. And then let's go more with the arms as well. And then I think we have to rotate the hip as well forward. Rotate. Z. Rotate. Z. Okay, so there we go. That's a bit more exaggerated. And then we go to frame 3 here. Move this forward. Let's see what this looks like. And then we mirror everything now. So mark all of these 4 frames, Control C, Control Shift V to do the flipped pose. And then mark this one, Shift D, and bring it back to there. I've got some problems with one of these bones is not turning. Could be this one. So we need to do Control C, Control Shift V here. Is that better? That's a bit better, I think. So he twists his body a little bit now as he runs. We'll switch the armature off there so we can see. We've got a problem there with the backpack. So, and that's because we've turned this one, I think. So let's reset that rotation. And then we turn this one instead. Oop. So spine 2. To get rid of the rotations here. Do Alt R. And then we'll twist this one instead, I think. Rotate Z so he goes forward a bit more. Control C, Control Shift V, Control V. So now the backpack is a bit better. And it's still bobbling a bit. So that's the run animation. Took a bit of time, but we got there. And we're going to do just see a jump pose and a fall pose. Those are the last 2 I think I'll do. So I'll do a new one here. First I'll go to the T pose. Go back to frame 1. Click on this little thing. Let's do jump pose. We only need one keyframe for this. The little shield here. Alt-R, Alt-G. And here we're going to do a simple jump pose. So I'm going to do, how do I want him to look when he's jumping up in the air? Let's do him, give him a little split thing again. Okay, that's the wrong one. There. So remember, these are where the legs or knees are pointing. And then he's going to punch a bit in the air when he jumps. So I'll rotate this one, rotate this one. And then he can look towards the side a little bit, or camera, when he jumps. Maybe he'll turn the hip, turn the arm forward, and then side view, go back a bit. But I have to be careful so he doesn't hit his head. He's going to try to punch with his arm up here. Maybe we can... So that's going to be his little jump pose. Don't know if that's little. That one's saved. And then now we'll do a fall pose as well. So keyframe here, or a new animation, fall pose. Everything here, A, Alt-R, Alt-G. And for him falling, just put his arms up in the air and his legs up as if he's getting prepared to land, maybe. Side view. G. And G. Rotate. Rotate. Okay. That's when he falls. So let's... that one's saved. Control S. Switch keyframing off here. We've got the run. We've got a T-pose. That's not a T-pose. Let's fix that. Alt-G, Alt-R. I to inset, location rotation. Select the guy, and then I shift-click the armature. And we can rename this armature maybe Hero Armature so we know which one it is, because we're going to get the enemies next time. And then we'll export the backpack and the hat as well. So everything there is selected. Did we get the guy as well there? File, export, FBX, and then in assets, meshes, let's name it hero. And then here are a few important things. We need to tick selected objects. We need to apply scaling, FBX unit scale. And here is very important. We do what is forward here in Blender, which is Y forward. And remember, we did Y positive forward, and then Z will be up. We have the animations with us, all the actions there. So let's hit export, minimize, and go into Unity. Ah. So we should have our guy here now, Hero. Yay, Hero's here. And usually you get him in a pose here that you don't want. First we can fix, let's hide the hat and the backpack for now. And you can see that his pose now isn't what we want. Let's put him on a tile. Or in fact, let's move a tile under here and then move the coin over to here. So usually I don't like to keep him. He'll come in a random pose, probably the last one that you created. That's the pose that's going to come. We can actually first, let's give him the same material because he got the auto imported material, but we created last time this common material. So let's put that on him because it looks a bit better there. So if you want to change this pose, then we can trick it a little bit. I right click here and do create a new folder. It's at the top, too easy. Animator controller. And then we right click here and do create and animator controller. Hero controller. Anim controller, I'll do anim controller. Double click on this one. And then I'm just going to drag the pose in here that I want from the hero. So I'm going to grab this T pose. And this is going to be the default pose now. So if I go into play mode, he'll swap into that pose. I thought, okay, we need to fix it a little bit more first. I go to hero, we go to model. or rig. I'm going to keep the generic rig for now, but we'll have to create an avatar from this model and apply. We'll go back to the hero in our scene, and then we need to assign this hero controller that we did there. And we got the hero avatar. Now when I press play, we should send them into the T-pose there. In play mode now, I can press Control. I'll hover over it and press. I'll go into the scene here, select him, select the root object here, press Control C, press stop on play, go back into scene view, press Control V. And now I've created a copy here, and I can delete the original one. Because I copied him in play mode, and we lost the prefab connection, but that's okay, because we're going to create a new prefab connection anyway. And we've got him in the right pose that we want now. So it's a little bit of a trick and a workaround if you want to force him into a new pose that you want. You can pick the animation then. To get his hat back and cap, we can take the cap here, or the backpack, and that's positioned pretty good, but we need to parent it into this armature here. So if I expand, it's the same name here, you'll recognize. So I just drag this backpack now into the spine, and it's parented it to that spine now. And same thing for the hat here. We'll unhide that one. It's on his head now, like it was in the T-pose. So we go head. I'm just going to parent the hat to the head. And now it'll follow quite nicely when he runs and jumps and everything like that. In order to set up the running and jumping, it's going to take a little bit longer. So what I'll do is I'm going to create another video. So for now, let's just create a ragdoll for him, so at least you've got something to do. So you can play around with the with the ragdoll a little bit. And then we'll get the running and walking animation. And I'll do it either in script or in bolt. Put in the comments if you wanted to see me to do it in script or in bolt or both. So, but for now, let's just do a ragdoll out of him. In order to do a ragdoll, I copy him, Control D here, and then I hide the original, and we rename him ragdoll. And now we go up to Game Object, and there's a nifty thing here called 3D Object, Ragdoll. And now, with this guy selected, I go up into the armature here, and we just need to map these bones, and we name them pretty good. So pelvis here, we'll do root. Left hips, so they're named a little bit different, but we can go upper leg on the left hips. We'll do expand this one and do lower leg on the left knee. Expand this one and do foot on this one. And for the right side, I'll go upper leg for the hips, lower leg for the knee, foot for the foot. Quite simple. And for the arms, we'll do, I have to expand the spine here. We'll do, for left arm, I'll do upper arm L. Left elbow, we need to do lower arm L. We don't have to do the hands here, so for the upper arm R for right arm and lower arm for that one. Middle spine, we can pick probably any. I'll pick spine 1, I guess. And for the head, we'll pick head. Mass we can leave as it is, strength as well. And now just hit create. And that's it. We've got ourselves a ragdoll now. Be careful so you don't do it on the original though, because you want to keep that one. But now you can see that it's created all these colliders here, the box and capsule colliders. So if let's have both views here visible, the game view and the scene view. And if I move this ragdoll up now to here and press play, he falls through. But that's okay, it's because we don't have a collider on this. So we need to add colliders to these objects. And for that, we'll do it in the prefabs that we created before. So then they all get them. So this tile dirt one, I'll just do add component, and I'm going to do box collider on it. And we can go into prefab mode here, double click on it to see. And that's pretty good. It doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, we could shrink it a little bit. You could do a mesh collider, but I prefer box colliders because they're so much faster and you don't really need the definition of all of this at the moment. But if you wanted to, I'll show you. You could do a mesh collider. And then in order to see it, you have to do a convex one. And it's quite tempting to do this, but when you have a lot of tiles, even though this looks really, really good, I'd try to get away with a box collider for as long as you can, unless you absolutely have to. We could resize it a little bit, so the height here, the Y height, then move it up a little bit. So, because the precision is probably gonna be good enough, but if you do need that the bullets and stuff ricochets off these angled edges, I guess you have to do a mesh collider, but try to avoid it if you can. So we'll do the same here for this stone tile. We'll do add box collider. This one is a bit more, we'll just keep it like that for now. Go back here. Now we can try our ragdoll. Now we should have something to collide with here. There. Ah! That worked. Oh yeah, we have to switch the animator off. Otherwise, we don't. This guy doesn't need the animator, but the original guy does. And move it. Now we can copy him. Copy a few of them. Control D. Control D. Control D. Control D. And try this. And if we want to see this in play mode, if you feel that animation isn't quite up to par the way you want it to, we could do this as well. Let's get rid of all those ragdolls. Let's create a prefab out of this one. Just drag it into the prefabs folder. Double click on him. And then you can see here, I can type here in the hierarchy, rigid body. Then I get, in this prefab, I get access to all the rigid bodies. So I shift select these. And then I go interpolate to interpolate. And collision detection to continuous if you want it better, or continuous dynamic even. And now when we press play, I don't know if we can tell that much of a difference, but it should be higher quality animations of him. It won't jitter as much. Let's copy him a few more times again now, since we've got better quality on the animations here. So let's just duplicate him a few times and then press play. That's going to be it for this week. Remember now, put in the comments, do you want me to see the running and jumping stuff and the falling in Bolt visual scripting or in C# scripting, or both? Because then you can compare the two and you'll see that maybe scripting is better sometimes. Maybe it's not as easy as you think to do the visual scripting. We'll see. I hope you enjoyed this episode 42, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy edition of the 10-minute modeling challenge. Subscribe if you haven't already, hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to come back next week for episode 43. Take care, bye for now.